Good morning, YouTubers. We are reviewing the adaptive cruise control function of the Volvo vehicles. Our tests will be combination of small town centers traffic about lunchtime, about 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, going through A roads, B roads and dual carriageway, as well as a motorway. The function test will be consisting of how the system operates, how it behaves, its advantages and the shortcomings. So we are in a small town in a 30 km/h zone. We don't have the adaptive cruise control as yet. So the adaptive cruise control in the Volvo vehicles are controlled through this D-pad control system. It sets them off and on. It sets the speed parameters, distance parameters and all the control related issues. The visibility of the system's information pack is on the left hand side under the speedometer, and then you can see whether it's on, off and then what condition is carrying on. So we are going into a dual carriageway, which is 60 km/h usually. I will be setting the adaptive cruise control on with this button in the center. So I set it on now. There is a system in the Volvo in adaptive cruise control split into two: adaptive cruise control and pilot assist. Pilot assist is the superior version, which controls the steering wheel within the lane. So we are in a dual single carriageway between the lines. The adaptive cruise control is on here and it's not in the pilot assist system at the moment. So if I was to set the pilot assist system with this right button, you can see that the pilot assist system is now set up and the green steering wheel is indicating the vehicle is censoring the lanes through the camera here and the sensors at the front of the bumper. And there is also a camera in the Volvo logo, under the Volvo logo. So I reset the adaptive cruise control now, and the car is just going itself, maintaining the speed of 75 km/h and then keeping the vehicle within the lanes. You can see the steering wheel is just steering itself. You can see the movements in here. And steering, I can take my hands off within a few seconds, but it will be warning me saying apply steering. So as soon as you apply steering, it continues to maintain speed and the distance. So I'm just about to arrive the Izmir Çanakkale Town's dual carriageway. I'll be going on the dual carriageway so we can see how the vehicle is operating in dual carriageway whilst maintaining the speed. So this test is being done independently by us, myself and my co-production partner, in safe traffic conditions with 3 different cameras. So we'll be editing the videos to combine the videos showing the road conditions, the dash cam, the dashboard and the steering wheel, so you can articulate how the system is controlled. So I'm quite keen on adaptive cruise control systems in these vehicles. I've used many Audi, BMW, Volvo. I own a BMW, and Volvo is a test vehicle today. The particular model we are testing is Volvo XC60 left-hand drive model with B4 Bravo 4 diesel model. So we are on the dual carriageway now. I'm setting the adaptive cruise control pilot assist system on now. So I'm carrying on with 80 km/h. You can see there's a water tanker ahead of me. The vehicle is already sensed the tanker and is keeping my speed, which is set to 81 km/h, but it's slowing down automatically by radar sensing the vehicle ahead. So I can set the distance between the tanker and myself by changing this bar with these buttons. So if I was to increase the distance to 2 or 3 bars, the vehicle slows down to create a bigger gap between the car or the vehicle we are following. If I was to drop that down, it gets closer to the vehicle ahead. So I'm going fairly slow now. You can see it's going down to 50 km/h even though the ceiling value I set is 81 kilometers per hour. So the tanker is steered away. Now the coast is clear. The vehicle is automatically accelerating. You can see I'm not putting on the accelerator, and it's going up to 81 kilometers per hour, and it will be stabilizing at 81 kilometers per hour as I set the vehicle to go up to. So you can see 81 perfectly on the dot is doing 81 kilometers per hour. As long as the road is clear, the vehicle will be maintaining the lane. You can see I took my hands off. You can see the minor adjustments on the steering wheel. Up to 10 seconds it doesn't tell me off. After 10 seconds it goes apply steering, and if I still don't, the system disengage. So it just shouts at me with a bing noise, and then it just cancels off. So I need to put my hand on and I push the button again to re-engage the adaptive cruise control. So you can see the dual carriageway is quite clear, and it's just by the time I reset it I was doing 77 kilometers per hour, and it's set it to 77 kilometers per hour. I can change, increase and decrease the speed ceiling with these two buttons. Up one goes by 5 kilometer increments. Now I'm setting it to 85 kilometers per hour, or down one goes down by 5 increments. So I'm just setting it up to 90, which is the speed limit, under the speed limit on this road, and we are going by 90. So if I did not apply my hands onto the steering wheel, the system will disengage. It will slow down, gradually come to a halt safely. So it's set up in that way to make sure that if the vehicle operator of the vehicle is either fallen asleep or in distress, the adaptive cruise control does not continue on going and just potentially harming the passenger. So we are going 90 kilometers per hour on the dual carriageway. I'll take my hands off. We are going left bend here, so you will see a very minor incremental moves on the steering wheel. It will start now. It's keeping me between the two white lanes, and it just told me off again saying apply steering, and it just perfectly capable of maintaining the vehicle, going around small bends, large bends, and follow the lane. So this vehicle even has got the sat-nav information, the map information. If the vehicle is going into a sharp curve, bend, or any difficult traffic conditions, it will be slowing down automatically. So we are coming to a red light. You can see I increase my distance. You can see a truck there. It will come to a halt itself automatically. You can see I had to apply brake because we were coming a bit fast, and it usually recognizes the traffic and stops. And it just, I'm sitting down now. I reset the system into 40 kilometers per hour. It's green again. Look, the truck is moving away, and my vehicle is just following it. Gradually its speed, increasing its speed to 50 kilometers per hour by following that vehicle. I reduced my distance by applying these two buttons. It's following very closely, and then I'll go, as soon as it fits its 50 kilometers per hour, the set desired level, it will be stabilizing. So I'll just go a bit left hand, overtake the tanker, and then increase my speed to 90 kilometers per hour. So you can see the vehicle, the coast is clear. The vehicle is going, you can see the speed limit there is 90, and it's just going up to 90 kilometers per hour. So I see 70 kilometers per hour. I'll drop my speed to 70 with these buttons. Now it's reducing its speed to 70. I'm going to right hand, so you can see it goes grey when I'm changing lanes. Now it's green. It's 70 kilometers per hour, and just maintaining the speed, pace, and the in between the lanes. So you can see the vehicles are, as soon as vehicles are getting in front of me, the radars and the camera is censoring that there is a vehicle we are following. So the speed limit will be going up to 90 kilometers per hour. I'll go up to 90. Now we are going 90 kilometers per hour. There is usually a mobile speed camera in this range, even though speed limit goes up to 110 kilometers per hour. for the intents and purposes of testing, I'm maintaining 90 so I can explain the functions of the vehicle safely. So we are carrying on the dual carriageway. You can see the coast is clear. I just take my hands off. It's gone up to 95. Sometimes it does that. BMW and Audi doesn't do that. If you set to 90, it never exceeds 90. But Volvo vehicles sometimes, because we are rolling, coasting down on the hill, that it goes up to 2-3 km per hour higher than the set limit of 90 km per hour. So I'll be going all the way down to this dual carriageway. It's maintaining conditions perfectly well, and then as soon as I hit that town, I'll be going into town center, and I can demonstrate how it operates in the small town center, following the vehicles in 30, 40 and 50 km per hour zones. So I might edit this section out, but we will be demonstrating. So if I was to go into 110 km per hour, which is the speed limit on this dual carriageway, I will get close to that vehicle ahead of me. You can see as soon as the radar senses that vehicle, it will be following that vehicle, whatever the speed that vehicle is cruising at. So we are dropping to 90, speed limit is coming down here. So you can see the radar sensor, that black vehicle. I'm going down to 70 with my, I don't even need to use the pedals here. So I'm down to 70. The vehicle is gently slowing down to 70 km per hour, dropping down and just maintaining speed at 70. It's a very smooth, very convenient operation. Just for the purpose of this video, which I'll do in the credits, that we are not paid by anybody, we are not paid by Volvo. We hired this vehicle to do the test, so because we are very keen on adaptive cruise control systems, which is not known to many people. Some people buy these cars, unbeknown to them, the adaptive cruise control comes as a standard. So the vehicle came to a halt, so I will set it off again. So it's, as soon as I press the button and hold position, it goes on to vehicle's minimum adaptive cruise control threshold level of 30 km per hour. So as soon as the vehicle clears off at the head of us, it will start going by, I just increased that to 40, now 50, 60, I'm increasing my speed. I'm going to right hand lane because I'm followed by another impatient vehicle. So you can see there is a cleaning vehicle and the radar didn't sense it. So you can see it's not perfect. Radar did not sense the road clearing vehicle, so because it's small, so you can see it did not sense the vehicle to slow down. So these systems are not fault free. You must never rely on solely on these systems. Their design purpose is to keep the driver's life easier by maintaining routine traffic conditions and maintaining the speed and the pace and the difference, the delta distance from the cars ahead. So it's not designed like Tesla to become completely autonomous like the airplane's autopilot mode. Even though it's called pilot assist, there's a reason it's called pilot assist. So we are getting close to, in the dual carriageway, traffic lights. You will see loads of these tractors in Turkey, and that tractor probably goes about 20 km per hour. As soon as my vehicle sees that in the radar, 3, 2, 1, so you can see that did not recognize it either. So there's another test you can see. I know you must be feeling that it's not filling you with confidence, but it did not see that tractor either. So it's a good test bench, and I'm hoping Volvo is not going to sue me for this, but that I'm just demonstrating. So I'll just set it back again. So there's a big truck, and I'm surprised if it wouldn't see that. So you can see it sensed the truck. I set my speed limit to 60. The truck is pulling away and my car is just following the truck. So I can set it off to 70, 80 km per hour. I'm just pulling away from the town center. and I'm just following this vehicle. It's perfectly visible in my radar, and I'm following that beige Suzuki sticking to 80 km/h. So if I was to increase my speed to, let's say, 140 km/h, what the vehicle will do, just speed up all the way to the distance I set the vehicle to maintain, and it will just maintain speed at 100 or whatever that car ahead of me is doing. So it's slowing down, my car is slowing down, it's automatically applying brakes. So that car pulled away. There is a learner driver, you can see is driving slowly. My vehicle slowing down to learner driver speed. He's or she is doing 50, going all over the place in the car, as they do. Now we are going down to 53. As soon as I go indicate I'm going to fast lane, my car will be going at speed and acceleration to go up to all the way to 140 if the road is clear. You can see it's going up. Gradually you can set the aggressiveness of this increase, so I'm just going to reduce it down to 110 because I don't want to get a speeding ticket. So it's cruising down on 110. I can even leave my hands off and the vehicle is just maintaining. So if I go to right hand lane, those vehicles are going less than 110. You can see the car is just slowing down itself down to 90, and whatever the speed the car ahead is going with us, he's doing 85 and car is going at 85. So if I was to go into overtaking lane, inside lane, I can start going faster, but I know this area is hotspot of mobile speed camera traps. So it's down to 50 now. I'm dropping my speed to 50 and the car is just going down to gradually to 50 km/h because this is a pedestrian zone area. 30 mph or 50 km/h is maintaining that speed at 50. So there is a set of traffic lights there. There is no cars, it's green. Car won't be stopping, it will be going through. One thing to note, that the vehicle does not recognize traffic lights and it does not stop itself, so it's purely an assist system. So now we are back to national speed limit. I will gradually increase my speed to 110 and the vehicle itself will accelerate into 110 and maintain. So far we've been 10-12 minutes of reviewing how this vehicle operates in dual carriageway conditions, but I will go back to town center so I can demonstrate how the vehicle operates in small town centers. You can even use that in, I live in the United Kingdom, you can drive the vehicle in motorways. M25 is best known as the biggest car park in the world. It goes into bumper to bumper, and then when I'm back to UK I will demonstrate that with a BMW. So you can see that we are back to the dual carriageway where we came from. It's quite bright, so I will drop down my visor. So I will reset my adaptive cruise control back into pilot assist. You can see it's green. I'm going to increase my speed to 110 in 5 increments. We are back to where we are heading back to the town we came from. So these vehicles, adaptive cruise control systems, are you can see the vehicle is slow, apologies, are cut off, so it's slowing down to follow that vehicle safely. I'll just overtake it. Back to the green lights. I'll drop my speed down to 50 because we are going to say the same 50 km/h zone we came up from. So it's 50 to be on the safe side, and I'm going down to 50. So going back to conversation I started off, I do long journeys in the UK and across the world, and when you're going on monotonous motorway journeys where you're going miles and miles following a straight line, these adaptive cruise control systems are absolutely priceless. They maintain speed, maintain your vehicle within lanes. If you are getting tired and start steering off into adjacent lanes, it steers back, and it starts monitoring your frequency of you doing that. It even recognizes your tiredness and it suggests taking breaks. So now we are back to national speed limit by that sign. I'm gradually increasing my speed to 110 km/h. So I'll demonstrate again. I'm up to 110 km/h. The truck just got off the town, is probably doing 80, 90. So we are going by 110. As soon as we get close to that truck, you will see that on the radar here again, and it will slow down to maintain the distance and the speed that truck is. If they are doing less than 110, as you can see, it recognized it. Just as I guessed, he's doing 90, and my car is down to 87. It's trying to overtake that smaller truck, so I'm following it up. I think it decided not to overtake, so it's back into the lane. My coast is clear. My car is just heading up to 110 again, as I set it to. So you can go hundreds of kilometers or miles with this plan, and then it just maintains speed, maintains distance, no problems whatsoever. So I'm dropping down to 100, and I'll be going down to the town center in a moment. So we might just edit the few minutes out. It's a small town called Carriageway, and I'll be going to the town center to demonstrate how it operates in a small town center condition. Let's be keen here. Whilst we are waiting on the red light, this is a town where there is a very famous Turkish singer called Kayhan. He's passed away. Pop singer, used to live. It's a beautiful town, very small market town, and it's not going to be that crowded on a Monday lunchtime, but we'll see how we get on. So I'll set my speed into my pilot assist to 30 km/h, so you can see it's grey. Because we are going through block paving, the car cannot recognize the lane, so it's telling me the pilot assist is on, but it's not in full control. So it's not doing the lane management, but it's maintaining my distance and trying to keep my speed less than 30. The vehicle I'm following is doing less than 30, and it's maintaining distance, as you can see. So I'm not accelerating, I'm not braking, it's just doing its beautiful job by following that vehicle. So you'll see that grey will stay grey until the car can recognize perfect white lines or dotted lines. So you can see it's going through an overbridge, and it will come to a halt because the car just stopped. So it's going 10 km/h. The minimum speed you can set this vehicle to with adaptive cruise control is 30 km/h, or if you are using Imperial system, is 20 mph. So now vehicle is turning right, I will turn right. I applied brake, the system that got disengaged. As soon as you apply brake, system gets disengaged. So this is not a big town to demonstrate this. What I'll do, I'll go back to the dual carriageway and head back to the VOLVO town center, where we have more traffic flow. So I'll make sure that I don't go turn left, because I'm so used to driving on the left last 17 years. Back to the dual carriageway, I will head back, and then we will go into the Ivor town centre, where all the hustle and bustle will take place on a Monday morning or Monday afternoon. So I'll set my cruise control on now, so you can see it will get to the traffic lights. I'll do a teeny bit naughty here. I'll just do a U-turn. We are back to the learner driver. I'll pass by. Back to 50 km/h zone. I'll set my adaptive cruise control again. You can see now we are back between the two white lines. The system is green. So I tested this quite regularly, especially back in the UK, where you got white lines blacked out as a result of traffic management. Both BMW and Lexus vehicles get confused, whereas Volvo does not. So that's my opinion and test, having done 540,000 miles in the UK, that Volvo's adaptive cruise control system appear to have a better camera here that recognizes the blacked out white lanes and does not take any consideration of those, whereas BMW and Lexus get confused. I didn't try that with Audi, but Volvo appears to be operating better. So I'm back into the slow lane. So I'm in still 50 km/h zone. I'll drop my speed. There's a set of traffic lights there. Vehicles are on halt. So I will demonstrate this car will be coming down to halt by seeing that truck. So it recognized the truck there. So the car is coming to a perfect halt itself. I'm not applying anything. The whole car came to a halt itself. You can see. Since our test started, we did this twice, but we were doing roughly about 90 km/h, and then red light appeared quite rapidly. So if you are going too fast, you don't 100% rely on this system. Don't put your faith and life on it saying it will stop. So it's got its flaws. So I set it back on again. It's grey, it's green, now it recognizes it. These cars will be shooting off straight after we come out into the national speed limit. So the town boundary is over. We are back to 110 km/h. I set it at 110. My gut feel that white vehicle will be going into whatever it can. I'm being undertaken by another BMW. That explains behaviors of BMW drivers. I am one. So you can see he wasn't patient enough to wait for the traffic to clear. So you can see he's doing more than 110. He cleared off. My vehicle is just sticking to 110. It's a beautiful system. With the exception of Tesla, if I was to choose one, Volvo will be my preference. So you can see the radar is recognizing that car. There is traffic management on the system. It sometimes even recognizes those traffic cones, so I wouldn't again fully rely on traffic cones recognition, because you've seen it yourself by the vehicle is not recognizing the highways maintenance road sweeper. So you can see comfortably 110, perfectly cruising speed. Lane is maintained by minor justifications to steering by the vehicle. Again, whilst we are talking about that, both BMW and Lexus are more prominent to steer. It feels like jerky movements, whereas Volvo is very smooth It just sees the traffic, it reads the traffic with this camera, and it's very smooth. I'm down to 50 km/h. I'm just dropping my speed down. It's very smooth. The steering on this vehicle is exceptionally smooth, that you don't think like some nutter just trying to turn your steering wheel into a direction you don't want to go. That's how it feels sometimes on Lexus. That's ISH 300, I think, the saloon version of the BMW 3 Series. And I'm just back to national speed zone. Strangely enough, there is a tractor going on the left hand side because he is turning left. Now we are at speed, we are at the traffic lights, it's green, and we are proceeding. So back to 110 zone. We'll probably end up editing out the following 5 to 7 minutes until we get to the town center, but we will put the unedited copy into the link below, so you can see how smoothly, how effortlessly this system continues on when you're doing long boring journeys, that you just sit at the steering wheel to maintain speed, maintain distance. Was perfectly sticking to 110 km/h, going effortlessly. I'm sure my production manager partner will be editing this section out, so I will keep silent. Whilst we are doing this, I want to as well add the section of the pilot assist system. This green one, this is the superior adaptive cruise control version. So if I was to turn the pilot assist off, it drops down to one inferior adaptive cruise control system called adaptive cruise control, ironically, and it does not do steering. If you were not to hold and steer yourself, it wouldn't steer. So it only maintains speed and it only maintains distance. It does not do steering. So you don't see the green steering wheel or grey steering wheel anymore. So you can see the cars ahead of me slowing down. My car radar censored them, so my car is slowing down. It knows there is something going there, but it's not doing the steering. I'm perfectly doing the steering myself. No understeering, oversteering by the car. So it's maintaining the speed, maintaining the distance. So I will overtake. You don't see the grey or green steering wheel again. We are on the inferior adaptive cruise control set. Now I'll be diving into the town center in roughly less than half a kilometer, and then I will start showing the urban conditions of the adaptive cruise control. So we are heading to the VOLVO town center. Off the slip road. I will set my adaptive cruise control back on, and I'll put the pilot assist on because I would like the steering to be done as well. So we are into 70 zone. I'll set my speed to 70. The car is maintaining right hand lane. It's going at 70 km/h very effortlessly. So this is a slip road coming into a town center. It will drop from 4 lanes to 1 lane up, 1 lane down, where we can demonstrate how it operates into single carriageway conditions. So you can see it goes 2 mph, 2 km/h up and down. It's not perfectly 70, but it does the job. So cruising down. Pilot assist is on, perfectly stable, carrying on. Roughly in 400 meters we'll be approaching to another red light. I'm hoping it will be red so I can demonstrate the car comes to halt itself, and then I'll be going down into town center road, single carriageway up and down, where we'll go down to 30 km/h. So we are down to 50 km/h. I'll drop my speedometer to 50. So that car is looking a bit impatient. Luckily it hasn't jumped into the road. So there is a truck carrying an excavator. It appears to be red. Yes, it is red. So you will see again, this car will come to a halt. No, it hasn't. So you can see the system doesn't always work perfectly. So it comes to a halt by itself sometimes it doesn't. So the moral of the story is maintain your 100% attention on the road, never solely rely on this system. I set it back on again to 30 km/h. That truck is going awfully slow, so I will overtake them. It's 2 up, 2 down. So there's a car, I'll just set it to 40 km/h. It's still 50 here. So there's a red light. I'll change my distance to 3 bars, you can see, to give the Volvo longer distance to recognize a standstill vehicle at red lights. As you can see, it recognized it. It's coming to a halt. Yes, perfectly nicely done. It just came to a halt itself. By giving my Volvo 3 bars, which increases the distance between the car we are following, gave it a better chance of calculating and making a decision to stop at halt position. Now it's gone grey, as you can see. I need to reactivate by just clicking this button, and it's going back to 50 km/h and just following that vehicle. So I need to filter into the left lane here. It's going into 1 up, 1 down, so I just set my adaptive cruise control again I'll drop it to 30 km/h, which is the speed limit here. Apologies if I keep going back to mile/h. All the speed you can see the pedestrian is crossing. Car is not going bonkers, so it's just recognizing the pedestrian. Now car is following that Golf ahead, 30 km/h, as I should. I'm maintaining 3 bar distance, which is a bit too much for town center conditions. It's better on the motorway, so I increased my speed to 40, and we are doing 40. So we'll come to a roundabout, and then we'll be heading to town center. I'll come to halt myself because when it goes into bend, the adaptive cruise control does not recognize the halting vehicles, which could create additional risk. So I'm back to single carriageway. I'll set my adaptive cruise control again. Pilot assist might come into equation in a minute. I'll drop my distance to 1 bar because I don't want to annoy the vehicles following me. I'll increase my limit to 40, so that should do nicely. So we are going through town center. The pedestrian is crossing, didn't register with the car. Again, there's a set of red lights here. Car is coming to a halt itself, even though I got 1 bar, because we weren't going too fast. That the recognition and the adaptation into the traffic conditions is more accurate when you are maintaining a trend speed rather than coming from 110 kilometer per hour into a set of traffic lights, which is quite a regular thing in the UK, in Turkey. So you can see my hand is on, pilot assist is off, it's grey, it can't recognize the white lines. I'm looking at the white lines here, it's quite faded, worn out. Therefore the car is taking the safer option by just doing the adaptive cruise control, maintaining distance, maintaining speed. So back to the moving traffic, it's maintaining 40 kilometer per hour and the distance. So we are going into high street equivalent of the UK now. That is going to be bumper to vehicles, and then it will start slowing down and maintaining this speed or lower. And you can see down to 20. You can even see green now. The white lines are more prominent here, therefore it's back into pilot assist mode. Steering, maintaining speed and distance. So you can see how it operates in town center. I will increase my distance to 2 bars because in this town you got some renegade pedestrians and scooters jumping from side roads, and traffic comes to an instant halt quite regularly, so I don't want to be rear-ending the car I'm following. Again, last few hundred yards I haven't applied brake or accelerator. The car is just gently cruising down on the road. If my memory doesn't faults me that this vehicle has got pedestrian, or just applied brake to let this minibus jumping in. I set it back on again to 30. Again, going back to a conversation that if my memory doesn't fault me, this vehicle has got pedestrian airbag on the bonnet, which I don't want to test. So the minibus is overtaking the taxi. Unless I apply brakes, it would have stopped, because it's getting a bit confusing for the car. So back onto pilot assist. Traffic came to a halt, so is the vehicle. So now I need to reactivate the system by pressing this button, because I stayed standstill more than a few seconds. To reactivate the system you need to click the restore button. So this is the same in Passats, VW vehicles and Lexus. BMW didn't need that, but in the recent firmware upgrade it started requesting needing that restore option. I guess it's a safety function that if you fell asleep, that vehicle shouldn't take the autonomous decision to go back again after 10 seconds of being standstill. So you will see this quite regularly. The minibus, which is a Turkish transport system, it will be stopping quite regularly to pick passengers and drop passengers off, and then you can see the start-stop position of this vehicle quite regularly. Having said that, it's just spurred off. We are back into the high street with beautiful sea view that I'm sure you can't see in this angle, but it's going by 30 km per hour. I just gently increased that to 40 when these passengers pass by, so I increased that to 40. back in business again, cruising and following the vehicle ahead of us. So lastly, I'm just looking back to my production manager partner. I think this is sufficient to demonstrate this vehicle's capabilities. This vehicle will come to a halt at these red lights, and we will put the video on YouTube. So thank you for watching. I hope it gives a good sight line of how the adaptive cruise control operates in a Volvo, and we'll be doing the same test on other vehicles capable of adaptive cruise control, whether pilot assist or vanilla option, and then we'll continue uploading these. And our purpose is to maintain traffic safety by making awareness, increasing awareness of the passengers and the car drivers having these systems on, so they can utilize that to make their life easier, and all, as well as just increasing their safety. So thank you.